which is like Lothar Maverick Orange Jackie Chan.
Yeah, twitch.tv/TakeTVBlack.
Yep, that's the one. So Lifecoach versus Eloise is going to be coming right up. Then we'll have possibly Stance of Kadog. I might be going on, on the mainstream as well. And then we'll have the winners, losers, and deciders match for Group G. That's actually going to be a pretty sick group.
We got a lot of Hearthstone to play today.
Yeah, but this group is one of the groups that I think few people said was kind of another side group of death. There were like a few of them.
When I looked at the groups, I thought there's like 3 or 4 groups that are all kind of groups of death. This is a pretty well balanced and challenging event to win.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy. The amount of invites that we got of quality players was really high.
Yeah, it always is. SeatStory, right?
Yeah. Well, JJ right there with his mentor. I think we've been playing so much together recently.
It's a big advantage, spending a lot of time with Lifecoach or JJ. Yeah. For both of them, it's a big advantage, right?
Yeah. Do you spend any time with either of these guys, or do you just play test online with them?
I mean, I used to practice with like them, but now not so much. I mostly practice with Thais right now.
Okay. All right, makes sense. So
we still have like team talks from time to time.
All right, because I remember you three were really close at some point.
Yeah.
For the practice group. Yeah, JJ's going really hardcore on the practice, man. He spends like 100 hours a week practicing.
I thought you were gonna say like he's going really hard on that pasta.
Well, he is going really hard on that pasta.
Looks good. Where to get it? I want some.
You're like,
I'm really hungry, man. Got to keep them carbs up for the brain function.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. He's not playing today though, so what's there to win?
Everything.
Yeah. Moral support for Lifecoach. After Lifecoach went out, Lifecoach has to bring back the honor to the family.
Look at it.
Right?
They're zooming in. They're zooming in.
Get in there.
Oh, get in that pasta, man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's becoming aware.
Looks like
Nice.
The pasta killer.
Okay, let's analyze the technique. Look at this.
Oh, the tongue there to just retract the pasta in as it was about to slip out. Just watch that movement.
His eyes focus
look at
on
that
the pasta.
tongue bringing out the pasta. Do you see that?
Mom's spaghetti.
His eyes focus on the pasta as he's bringing it to his mouth, and then after he completes that motion, his eyes kind of look off somewhere else.
His eyes are ready. He's a bit sweaty. He lost some pasta, but he's still like taking it.
His palms are sweaty. He's still eating Lifecoach's spaghetti. Yeah. Sounds like... We're having a great time here, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Regardless of whether or not Lifecoach and Eloise are playing their game, I'm still Okay. So we were told that Eloise is missing in action. We'll have to go get her. We can kill time a little bit before we start.
Sure.
Eloise, recent tournaments, any thoughts on her
She's
performance?
been playing in a lot of tournaments.
She won the group in the Celestial tournament. I was in the group and I was the only one that beat her. She went 5-1.
Dang.
And I barely squeezed in. I barely made it 3-3, I think. 3-2. Yeah, 3-2. She went 4-1, yeah.
We talked about Lifecoach's practice, but Eloise is somebody that I hear just plays Hearthstone constantly. Like when she's not streaming Hearthstone, she's playing Hearthstone or asleep.
Yeah, she was top 10 legend right now.
She's what?
She was playing downstairs and she was top 10 legend.
Dang.
Why do you?
That's
you keep that
Hearthstone.
cucumber and like just like.
I just like it. It makes me.
You're like a teacher, like Zalay teachings.
We have a calculator there.
Still not as good as Frodank.
I don't know what's going on right now. Are you controlling something?
SeatStory Cup.
You don't hear that?
No.
It's like a front on soundboard.
SeatStory Cup. SeatStory
You're not
Cup.
hearing it?
No.
And
okay.
he goes for the face.
Oh, now I hear it.
Unfortunately for Zalay, he has like a medical condition that we just discovered right now. Dr. RDU on duty.
Yeah, what's going on, RDU? Can you tell me more about Zalay's medical condition?
NA best region.
Right, I can hear it now.
Giggle.
I think they had to like turn
sweaty,
it on for me.
Knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. His mom's spaghetti.
That's about like JJ. Like just throw down commenting.
All right. Oh, I see Eloise. This is looking good.
Where?
Yeah, Eloise is there.
Oh, there she is.
Yep.
I didn't see her go
They're
in.
at their computers, so next couple minutes.
All right, this couple minutes we should be ready to go.
Checking
no
her good luck
longer
charms.
missing in action.
That's her alternate Hearthstone playing device.
Yeah,
No, that's the authenticator. Like it's very good to like authenticate your account to not get hacked.
Yeah, to not get hacked.
Yeah.
Dr. RDU.
I don't know. Got like the email verification thing all the time.
Yeah, email is
Good
a bit clunky though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you might as well just use the mobile one. It's a little bit faster. But Eloise seems to... Like she was hanging out, I think, downstairs with everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. The event's been pretty relaxed so far, I'd say.
SeatStory is always relaxed, fun, and yet at the same time very competitive, right? Like
people who come in here to really have like the desire to win, but at the same time it doesn't feel as bad losing because there's a place to do something.
Stuff to do.
If you're out.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's one of the good things about it. So Lifecoach and JJ is mapping out the matchups. Seems their lineups. Will actually
doing
do as
bands
well as
right now is what those pieces of paper are. You write down. You get a piece of paper with all your opponent's classes. You write down which class you're banning, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people are banning Shaman today. What do you think about that, RDU? Is Shaman just like the right ban?
I mean, my strategy was to also ban Shaman, but I went 0-2 in my group, so I don't really know. I lost to Super JJ and to 6-0. I think that if you want to bring Rogue, you should ban Shaman.
Right.
And if you ban Warlock, like Reno Lock, you should bring Priest. It's either one of those. But the issue is that both strategies lose to Freeze Mage, but Freeze Mage is not the most consistent deck. And that's been the free strategies that have been played in this tournament.
Right.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of Freeze, but for some reason there's been a lot of them that faced off against each other and kind of took themselves out. So we'll mostly see that, I think, on the third day when they finally go out against the other lineups against which they were supposed to be prepared.
Right. Yeah. So I'm a little bit confused about the format because I did the ban Reno Lock, bring Priest strategy, except I haven't banned Reno Lock yet. And, and I felt like I was unfavored lineup-wise in every matchup I had, but I won them both. So I just don't know what's going on right now. It's all very confusing.
Did you have like an easy group or?
Not really. I mean, like it's SeatStory Cup. It wasn't the hardest group. I didn't have to beat Lifecoach or anything, but I beat, what was it, VLPS and then Show. And,
so it wasn't easy.
You didn't even see Ignite in the matchups.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I was just winning games with Dragon Warrior. I tweeted like a week ago, like, here's a Dragon Warrior list. I think it's really good. It reminds me of Secret Paladin. And then I went 5-1 with it today, so.
Pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Is it the pirate list?
It's Dragon Warrior. Obviously, it has pirates in it, yeah.
Sure, nowadays it does.
It's Paragon, right? Pirate Dragon Warrior.
I just call it
Paragon,
Dragon Warrior because every warrior has pirates in it. Every warrior has patches in it, right? So for me, there's Pirate Warrior, which is like the aggro one, and there's Dragon Warrior, which is the one with dragons.
Okay.
I don't know how other people call it, but to me, that makes sense. Like,
yeah, Patches the Pirate is a very strong card.
Yeah, you're going to want to play that.
A card that like a lot of pro players said is going to be like super strong, but like a lot of casual players didn't really see the potential in. It's like, what, Stone Toss Boar? How can that be like that great?
They're like, well, if it doesn't cost a card and a mana, like it's pretty different, right? Stone Tusk Boar has real costs to it. Patches...
Not so much. Well, I mean, it kind of does. I think the big drawback of Patches is the percentage of times where you actually draw it in your opening hand.
Right.
That's the cost you're paying for that card.
Yeah.
And it's a very steep one if you compare it to what it actually does.
Yeah, but overall, I feel like it's still a really good card.
Yeah, it is. Of course. I think it's the best card in Hearthstone.
I would say it's the best card.
Okay, that's a bold statement. Go ahead.
Do we include Wild?
I'm talking about current standard.
Oh, current standard, okay.
And Wild, what would that be for you?
You'd say Death
Shredder.
Shredder?
Scientist?
There's no way Shredder is the best. It's all more
Scientist?
play because it's neutral, but it's not the best.
Scientist?
Yeah, Scientist was gross.
Scientist was disgusting. And like you think about Patches, right? It comes out on the board, it's a 1-1 with charge, costs you no mana, quote unquote, thins the deck and gets you to win condition faster. But Scientist legitimately did something disgusting. Like that was 3 mana out of your deck onto the board.
I mean, it also thins the deck.
That's the best part about it.
That really triggers me too. Like I had good players try and tell me that like the thinning was what was important about Patches. I was like, no, man, you kill them with 1/1s. Those that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean the thinning doesn't even matter in Magic when you have fetch lands, right? Which is like a way to.
It matters a little bit, but it's just not on the same level as like an extra body in play.
I think I've done the math on Patches for the most part, and it starts being relevant at like draw number 14, something along those lines. Like the odds
it starts being relevant on draw number 2. Like as soon as you've played it, it's
but the thing is like the odds of you drawing Patches in your opening hand, like versus the times where it matters.
Oh, I see.
Is only starting to become relevant around like 14.
Right, and so it never happens.
It almost never happens.
Because Patches decks are a little bit faster than that by a lot.
That's what they try to do, yeah. So it's basically an effect that is insignificant, the thinning of the card.
It's still like a lot of damage for free if you have a pirate.
Yeah.
Like
and it's not
one
just
per
damage.
turn.
It's a 1/1 they have to deal with after that.
Yeah,
take all that
like
damage.
on average it deals like 2, and then they also use resources to kill it.
Yeah.
So like that's a lot of damage.
It just snowballs.
At worst, you hit once and then they kill it, so they still like have to invest something.
Right.
How much do you think small-time Buccaneer affected Patches, basically?
A huge amount. I think Patches was pretty reasonable before small-time Buccaneer, but with small-time Buccaneer, it's a much less reasonable card. I think it's like all of a sudden like 3-4 classes can put 4/3 worth of stats in play on turn 1 with almost with just very limited downside. And that's, I mean, 4-3 is a lot. You're happy to do that on turn 2, but turn 1, it's just disgusting. It's broken.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things where we haven't had an effect like that before. Like, even Undertaker didn't do it as quickly. It feels like even if you did get Undertaker, coin, Leper Gnome, like that was more fringe than just play one drop, no coin needed, and get the 1/1 into play.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's only a 2 health minion, so like drawing it late game is like super bad. So it also has some downsides.
Yeah, luckily. The Undertaker didn't really have much of a downside.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
when
sometimes you
drew
didn't draw it and your
mid-game.
opponent did. That was downside.
Yeah. That felt bad.
Yeah, I didn't want that scenario.
At least you could BGH it on curve.
I mean, Undertaker was
the
so
upside.
crazy that you could consider like mulliganing Scientist to look for Undertaker.
Yeah.
That was. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like Patch is the most broken card in the history, most
Of
broken
Hearthstone,
card in the
yeah.
history of Hearthstone, but I think it is the best card in Hearthstone today.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely meta-defining as it stands. So, we're about to get into the game, or is that the test game? We'll have to see.
This game.
Test game.
All right. Oh, wow. What a beautiful coat.
Nice.
Not used to the weather in Germany. It's very cold.
Yep.
For some people.
I had
Is
to
that
bring a
is that
coat.
Frodan's code from BlizzCon?
It is. It's got to be.
Beautiful.
She's playing on his account, I think. Maybe she's Frodan.
Let's
Her
not get
makeup
there
on.
again.
All right, so we should be getting into the game in the next minute or two here.
Yeah. I wonder though, like how long it'll take before the metagame kind of settles, because there's always this period of heavy experimentation with metagames. People say that the metagame gets figured out faster and faster after release of an expansion.
It's
Like
true.
last time, after Karazhan, it took very little time, I feel, before the metagame just settled, because it went back to what it was.
Right.
Except the decks just got better or worse depending on the new cards.
Yeah,
they
there
got.
wasn't that much in
The
Karazhan,
Karazhan
though.
didn't change too
Yeah.
much, right?
But like with this expansion, I think the metagame is like kind of figured right now. Like people know what are the good decks. But then like we see decks like Rogue popping up, and then like we see decks like Freeze Mesh popping up. So like I wonder after how much time we're gonna stop seeing decks popping out.
Yeah. I want to see if people pick up on the Strike tournament format as well, because that affects some of the metagame.
I like Strike a lot. I think it's a pretty
Yeah,
cool
there's
format.
there's more. There's like different formats, and like with the formats you can like develop more strategies.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can have a different metagame for each tournament a little bit, not too much variability, since most of the good decks will still be brought. But the way you pick and bring the lineup or build it is really different.
That's for sure true. Every time I'm building a lineup for a tournament, it's for that specific tournament and like the players in the tournament and what the format of the tournament is.
I've
Do you,
been
do you
given
build it for the? Do you really build it
the
for the
bans.
players?
Sorry, what?
Do you really build it for the players?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I mean,
interesting.
not as much in this event because I don't know like my group or anything, but sometimes there's events where you know your first round opponent, and yeah, I prepare for them. I'm gunning for them.
I mean, if it's a single elimination format.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. Now they know.
They're like, is Eloise preparing for me?
I'm just gonna do something different.
Yeah, like right now, yesterday with a guy who tried to get in below 10 health, didn't work out. Lifecoach banned the Warlock from Eloise, I believe, and Eloise banned the Shaman from Lifecoach. So,
Got some interesting mulligans here. Eloise is keeping certainly one Buccaneer. Do you pitch the rest looking for a weapon? Do you keep the Raider for a 2-drop? It's against Reno Lock, so I like just keeping the 2-drop Bloodsail Raider, even though it's
No,
Pretty
look,
mediocre.
what do you think about this? I personally like keeping both Buccaneers because she's playing Pure Pirate Wear, so she has a Zoffor's mate. So if you high roll and you get the Zoffor's mate, you can just like have the best turn 1 and then the best turn 2.
yeah, you can have Nazat's first mate plus the second 1-drop instead of a 2-drop.
pretty optimistic.
And if you don't, like, you're definitely not keeping the Velocity Raider without a weapon.
You're definitely not. I mean, I
Yeah.
think 2-3 on turn 2 is not the end of the world. It's okay. She agrees with you. And we can see that, wow, Lifecoach has got a nice hand. He's going to pull patches on turn 1, and he's got Reno for later.
I mean,
Oh.
we don't know yet.
Oh, Finley
might-
can get the rogue hero power.
He might just stop deck patches, right? It could happen, in theory.
Don't say that. Don't curse
4%, right?
So-
What's the chance?
him. Caster Jinx.
So does the Bloodsail Corsair wait around for a weapon? Probably, right? Seeing that
Yeah.
turn 1.
I
So-
think I want to see that weapon and try to snipe it, yeah. It makes quite a bit of sense. You do have Hellfire to get you out of trouble for a bit, and you do have Reno already. So you can probably soak some damage until then. Without Reno, maybe you're in more of a... Like, there's more urgency to this, where you want to clear the board very quickly. But since you have the reset button at any point, yeah, I think you're fine.
There's that Dagger Mastery. That's a weapon for these Buccaneers.
It's a pretty shitty hero power overall.
I think in this spot, it's a pretty good one.
So the spot makes it
I
good,
might
but the
take it over
match-
almost anything. I
the
mean, I
matchup
think
makes
you'd
it
have to
bad.
take Life Tap or Steady Shot over it.
Yeah,
But
like,
I think
the
you
best-
definitely take it over Shapeshift and Fire Blast here.
The best one is like Life Tap. I think afterwards like Steady Shot, and then it's probably like Fire Blast, and then it's probably like the Druid one.
So,
shift.
if you don't have a weapon, I think this becomes a lot better, right? Like, in a typical spot, I would tell you, yeah, this hero power is not amazing in
But here
this
it's great
deck
for the Buccaneers. You have to.
because you override weapons, but in that spot, you're desperately looking for a weapon to close out this game before it gets out of hand.
So coin Demon Wrath, coin MC Tech would be great plays, but Lifecoach doesn't have those.
He has
So
a Hellfire,
is-
though.
Eloise was taking some pretty big risks with this line of play, right? But I think she should. I think it was correct.
Was the choice, right? You do have to pack as much damage as you can before turn 6. You don't even get to play around Reno in the matchup, really.
You play around it by killing them before turn 6.
Exactly.
That's how you play around Reno these days.
Hence the weapon pickup.
That's half joke. That's partly true. The other way, you can sometimes play around Reno a little bit by just having a really strong board going into their Reno turn, so that if they have the Reno, you can still push a lot of damage. Once in a while, that works out.
She might have enough to kill him by turn 6, but
It's really not that rare.
It's not that rare, but with a coin Hellfire...
This is 9 damage coming in.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Korkron getting 2 swings in, at least.
Boom.
But the Shadow Bolt will make sure that doesn't happen.
so like, let's predict the next turns. Lifecoach is going to coin Hellfire. He goes to 13. Then
Korkron.
Eloise goes
pushes 5.
Korkron, puts him at 9. Lifecoach probably goes like Bloodsail guy and Shadow
And then
Bolt.
if Eloise picks up some damage, it's lethal, like another Heroic Strike.
Yeah. So it's all going to come down to the next draws of Eloise, most likely. And if she doesn't manage to pick anything up, Lifecoach has the Reno to save himself.
Yeah, it's like Arcanite Reaper, second Korkron. Yeah, Demon Wrath would have been so sick in that game. Just being able to clean up the board without losing health, without spending the coin, more
Yeah.
importantly, I think.
Well, I
You
would
can
have
get
pointed out
Reno
the Demon
early.
Wrath on turn 2.
Goodness gracious.
All right, so this is 5 to the head, Korkron and the dagger, and it curves into Arcanite Reaper, Dread, Corsair next turn.
And that's one turn before the Reno can come in. The game's going to end when Heroic Strike is landed, so you kind of need a taunt here, if anything.
Yeah,
Oh, there is a Bloodsail Corsair, though, so it's only going to swing once.
Yeah, but
That's
the
a
Heroic
plus.
Strike is...
Yeah, the Heroic Strike will end the game,
Yep.
probably. So like Lifecoach needs
He needs a healer or a taunt
second-rate
for next
bruiser, I
Yeah,
think.
to tank the second hit from the Reaper and the Heroic Strike altogether.
So this turns Shadow Bolt, and
Still
there's
dead
not
Corsair.
going to be a tempo Bloodsail Corsair because Lifecoach knows that Arcanite Reaper could potentially come out on turn 4.
There's not going to be any second hit Noxious because of the Bloodsail Corsair from
That's-
Lifecoach.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is if he needs to tempo it down...
Oh, I don't think he does.
No, he knows turn 5 Arcanite Reaper's a thing, and he saw that dagger go in last turn, which is a slight indicator of Arcanite Reaper coming in.
Now
Although
Shadow
it's,
Bolt
you pretty much just make that attack regardless, I think.
looks like a Soulfire play.
Okay.
All right, we're
Risking
trying
the
it
Reno,
out. Let's
1 and
do
6.
He lost the Corsair.
That's a
Slightly
big deal.
painful.
Wow,
I like
Ash.
that card.
That's 1 off lethal, right?
Wow. That's an interesting tech.
I love it just because it works like Mortal Strike. Mortal Strike on average in the mid-game play will be 4 damage anyway. It's mostly going to be good in top deck situations where you're getting the 6 and you're already low on health. Otherwise, you get to swing in for an extra 3 across taunts. And I think the metagame is shaping up to contain more taunts, right? Reno Log, for instance.
Sure.
Just adding
So
more.
Eloise is going to play this Arcanite Reaper, and she's just thinking, is there any reason I should kill this brand instead of going face?
Refreshment Vendor and Farseer are the only reasons that come into my mind.
Earthring Farseer and Refreshment Vendor.
Earthring Farseer heals for 3 more, but you miss 5 damage, so I think you got to just go
But
ahead.
even Refreshment, don't you still win anyways?
Heroic Strike Bash.
Listen, killing Bran misses 5 damage, and it plays around a heal for 3 or 4 off of one of those cards. You're not
Yeah,
going to miss 5
yeah.
to stop a heal for 3 or 4.
I'm all for going face. I think
Yeah.
going face is the place.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that one. Seems pretty straightforward. That's what the deck wants to do anyway in a spot like that one.
Yeah, you don't want to miss 5 to like play around them getting 3 or 4.
Four.
Now,
health, yeah.
if Lifecoach had 1 more mana here, if we were going into Lifecoach's Reno turn, then Eloise might kill the Brand.
Yeah, obviously,
Maybe.
but
Well, even then, it's debatable, I think.
That coin! Don't you wish Demon Wrath had been there? That's one of those awkward things against Pirate Warrior. You know, some people earlier said in the metagame that Reno Lock came in and kind of did well against Pirate Warrior. And while that's true, it's the fact that you have to use your coin where you're not on the play to just hellfire the board very early. That
Just
makes
live.
you fall back so hard. And now there's nothing to save Lifecoach no matter what. A life tap? Is there even anything? Dirty Rat?
no.
You might life tap for Rat. That's it.
Even that, like Eloise
Civic Swamp.
playing Bash is just enough.
Right, but from Lifecoach's perspective, was there something to do?
Now,
All right,
Eloise played around Reno perfectly. Killed him before he could play it.
that's how you do it.
That's the way to do it, and that's the power of Buccaneer and Patches.
Even without a weapon, she still pushed in all that
She
damage.
found a weapon. She finleyed it up. She did it the hard way, but it counts.
Yeah, she managed to get like 6 damage out of that rogue hero power, more than you would ever get with the hunter one, for example.
Yeah.
Only 2 mana.
Yeah.
Really, really efficient. Also, like baited out the Hellfire, which was like also not only damage but also making Lifecoach using the coin.
Yeah, I think Rogue Hero Power might have just been the best one, even if it were up against Hunter and Warlock.
Yeah, I
with the
think in
double
that
Buccaneer,
spot,
yeah.
The power of Buccaneers.
It looks very counterintuitive, but it seemed like the right play. Yeah.
yeah, I really like the pick from Eloise. So she's going to stick to that Warrior. Lifecoach's Reno Lock is down. That must feel a bit bad since that's kind of his trademark deck. He's been playing these types of decks since the inception of, well, since he's entered the tournament scene. Handlock was kind of his baby.
Right.
And then the Demon Handlock.
Heck yeah.
And now Reno Lock.
Yeah, Lifecoach is super JJ considered as being like the best deck in the game by far.
By
Okay.
far.
And like they just ban it every time, and like they always like bring it, and like they try to like just win 3-0 with it, probably.
All right, that's
Not
a
this
statement
time.
not many people share. Like most people say Reno is one of the top 3 decks,
For sure.
but I wouldn't say, that's necessarily the best deck in the game by far, especially.
I'm not sure if by far, that's probably an exaggeration, but they think it's the best deck in the game. They say it on stream all the time, and
All right, that's awesome, man. It just sucks for Lifecoach that it's out of his lineup now. Last hero standing, not allowing you to get that done.
Yeah, so do we know what Lifecoach's options are to queue into this Pirate Warrior?
I think he might have a Warrior left. I'm not sure about his other deck. I'd say Dragon Priest
Priest?
is very likely since.
Okay, so both of those are both of those are favorable matchups, I would say. Dragon Warrior and Dragon Priest are both pretty good against Pirate Warrior because they have a bunch of taunts and they have really good early game board presence to contest the Pirate Warrior's board presence.
That's the one thing, though, is I'm not sure if that's the same lineup he's going to bring, the lineup he's going to bring, because all we know is that...
The bans, right.
Yeah, the bans that happened. Yeah, ban the Reno Lock from Eloise is interesting.
It would make sense if he had a Priest and a Warrior here, because that does seem like kind of a tough decision. I think Warrior... I would probably rather queue Dragon Warrior into Pirate Warrior than queue Dragon Priest into Pirate Warrior, because Dragon Warrior has those weapons, which really help to keep the opponent's board presence manageable.
Yeah, there's also the possibility that there's a rogue in his lineup. We don't have the data about that, but it looks like there's a warrior at the very least, probably the Dragon Pirate.
Confirmed.
And there we go. On the left is the Dragon Pirate Warrior.
So both players have Warrior, both players have Patches.
His palms are
Malkarov.
sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. His mom's spaghetti.
Thanks, Frodan. So Lifecoach has that Malkarov, pretty aggressive inclusion. Maybe it means it's not a Curator build, because maybe you don't want multiple 7-drops in your deck.
That'd be interesting, yeah. It actually can behave as a more aggressive 7-drop than Curator.
that Fireworks is huge.
So Eloise has a very aggressive opening, but Lifecoach's hand is extremely difficult to beat.
Yeah, I think Lifecoach is favored just looking at the...
It's a favorable matchup and a favorable hand, right?
Yep.
He does need a dragon for his Alexstrasza champion, but he doesn't need it yet. He has War Axe on too.
And Malkrog might be a bit awkward in the matchup. Like, I think it's too late.
It's very slow, but it can help close out a game that you've been trading a lot with. Like I think the Aggro Warrior Mirror match is one of the, I want to say, most misplayed matchups. Like on ladder, people don't trade at all in the Aggro Mirror. Like not
aggro
one bit.
mirrors are all about trading. That's a good
Right,
point.
but I feel like on the ladder, a lot of them just kind
See
of
people
devolve into face races right off the bat, even though no one should be necessarily going for that from that position.
So interesting turn 1 from Eloise. She upgrades for a 1/3 and hits the Buccaneer, setting up to kill it with Patches next turn.
That is actually a full clear, and it sets up also the development of 2 minions on the board. So I like that play. And this is the type of play that, again, I feel are not made enough in the mirror matches, right? Where you go for the trade play, the slower play, and because your minions are going to get cleared up too easily.
Yeah, this was some nice high-level play from Eloise, and she's even curving into Fire War Axe, Coin Bloodcell Raider next turn. The War Axe swings on turns 3 and 4, and then the Reaper swings on 5. It's kind of perfect.
So there can be a full clear. Probably worth taking. You do get if you want the 2/2 from Blood, but
I think she saved 1 damage, by the way, by doing that ordering. If she would have killed the Patches first and then killed the small-time Buccaneer,
Right.
she would take like 1 more damage. So, yeah, she did it really, really nicely.
by attacking first.
By attacking the Buccaneer and leaving the Patches up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killing the Buccaneer next turn with the Patches and then killing the Patches with the weapon.
Yeah, it's one damage saved from the plus
Yeah.
to attack not being on the minion.
It
Again,
might
very
matter.
very well played. Like these are the type of plays in the mirror match for aggro decks that just matter a lot.
Yeah, you'll see ladder players mess stuff like mess up stuff like that constantly, and they just never realize it.
Shots fired.
There's a lot to think about. Yeah, it's a thing.
Like,
I'm a ladder player too.
Oh, well done. That's a good sound.
We are all ladder players.
Yeah.
You can be a champion too. Everyone's got a chance.
All right, so you got to imagine you're trading the 3-1 into the 3-3, playing a Fiery War Axe, killing the 2-2 with it, and coining out a 5-3 Bloodsail Raider.
Yeah, there's a Fiery War Axe on the other side, though, so you are sacrificing that minion. I'm assuming by using the coin, you're also not getting Reaper, so you're a bit off curve past this point.
Yeah, it doesn't set up for any kind of turn 4 play. You're just going to top deck your turn 4.
Do you ever just War Axe and keep the Bloodsail in your hand?
No.
Okay.
If that Fiery War Axe is going into your Bloodsail Raider is doing the best thing it possibly can, right?
Deal
It's dealing with the
damage.
Fiery War Axe charge, it's pushing 5 damage. Like, you can't really deal with the War Axe charge any better than that.
You mean Acidic Swamp Ooze that deals 5 damage and then sacrifices itself?
Yeah, I mean, okay, Acidic Swamp Ooze would deal with it better. You're right. Wow, she does not want to coin it out. Shoot.
She probably wants like Coin 9 Double Coin 9 Reaper, and
Really?
then like play the Bloodsail Raider, and then play the second Reaper.
Have an even bigger Raider.
That's an even more insane Raider. If the 5/3 dealt damage, then that one's gonna deal an insane amount of it.
Oh, that's a really unfortunate draw for Eloise. That Naza's first mate is...
You can probably
Pretty
just play the
close to
Raider now,
useless.
play the first mate afterwards, and then override the weapon next turn.
I guess Eloise's thinking is there's no rush to get the Raider out there since there's a War Axe, and by saving it a turn, she potentially gets to play 2 minions in the same turn and prevent weapons from swinging into them one by one without them ever getting extra attacks in.
I love this play. Would have attacked first for Moral Strike, but maybe she doesn't play it.
She probably plays it,
Okay,
but it
so-
doesn't matter, right? Like,
Do you think
Either
she
way,
has
you're
space
armoring
for
up.
that? Maybe she just cut it for bash.
That's possible, yeah. That's my thinking. Is if the way she did it, I feel like you don't want to get because you want to get low health as fast as possible.
right, so she's actually playing around Draconid Crusher.
Okay, sure.
That's actually why she did it this way, right? Being at 17 instead of 15 with 2 armor is much better.
Yeah, but
Another
you
small
still,
thing,
you still go to 15 next turn.
potentially.
The axe hit, but
Not
the acid
necessarily.
trade, yeah.
Yeah, most likely. That's the one thing that happens all the time when you play around like these kind of things. You usually tend to play into it next turn anyways. But here it didn't matter
It's worth
that
a
much.
try, right? It's
yeah,
better.
yeah, it didn't matter at all. So it was worth a try.
Yeah.
Like there was no potential better play. She didn't lose health to go in this
Right.
spot.
Right, she just gave herself a free roll. of
Just
better
different
position.
ordering. Yeah. As you say, a free roll.
Well,
that's
the
best way.
Reaper does deal with the Frothing Berserker. There is, in Lifecoach's hand right now, that's about the most steam he's going to have. And he's going to have to find something to fill up turn 6 besides the Fairy Dragon. I mean, getting a Twilight Guardian would be amazing. Korkron Elite.
Yeah.
Another 3-drop would do it.
He has really good chances to have a decent turn 6. And worst case scenario, Fairy Dragon armor up is probably good enough in this spot since Eloise's hand is so clunked up with, 7 weapon charges and just almost nothing that ever goes on board that's not a weapon.
And Lifecoach is nowhere near death. Like, this is the type of hand with Eloise where you just start going face because you're setting up a clock, but
I still
that's
got
not
a
even
trade, right?
happening.
Is she? Wow, she is going face.
That's super aggressive. I don't know if she has enough fuel to like kill him.
That's pretty
Enough
optimistic.
time.
The question is, do you ever win if you start trading with a hand like this?
Well, my instinct is you win a little bit more often by trading than by going face there, but
Okay.
she disagrees.
Yeah, like now I cannot really see a spot where she wins. I mean, even if she
there's nothing
traded,
to be
yeah.
done.
Either way, I think that 9/9 coming down would have
Yeah.
spelled the death of her.
That's
right?
it. Yeah. I'm thinking like maybe Malkarok spawns Cursed Blade. Is that still in standard?
It is still in standard, yeah. That's a possibility.
Okay.
Will he even play Malkorok?
No.
He's
knowing
had
Lifecoach,
disasters
Probably
like
not. He's
that.
gonna do the math. Like,
What are the odds? Nope, not worth it.
yeah. Oh, greater than 0? I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have like Fairy Dragon armor up and some top deck.
All right, so
next turn.
let's assume there's 9 being pushed this turn by Eloise, right? So the
No,
Lifecoach
you
has
don't
said-
heroic strike face. Oh, you do?
Well, you could trade, but I mean that frothing is just swinging at you for 4.
Oh no, I'm just gonna save the heroic strike. I was just gonna like play frothing, push 5 to the face, armor up.
There's
and play
Ravaging
as
Ghoul in
awesome.
Lifecoach's build, I think. Does it kill you right now? If played? It doesn't if you armor up, so... Maybe there's some mild argument in favor of it.
Well, it's just like normally you save the heroic strike until the end.
Yeah.
It's particularly true if a Malkarok comes out.
I think she wants to make sure that she can play the second heroic strike. The problem is like she's not getting the 12 damage in regardless of what happens here. And that is going to close the game out, I believe.
12, 16.
Yep.
That's game.
That'll be it. Korkron Elite finishing the game. No need to roll for a Malkorok weapon that isn't a disaster.
And this is kind of how Last Hero Standing plays out. You get a win, and then your opponent gets to counterpick you, and they get a revenge win sort of thing most of the time. And so a lot of times it trades back and forth with wins, and the person who got the first win is a pretty big favorite to win in the end. But
now Eloise
by no
is
means
probably
guaranteed.
she's probably gonna kill the shaman right now.
It's banned. Oh no, her warlock is banned.
Yeah, her warlock is banned.
Yeah, my bad.
So you think shaman to counter Dragon Warrior? I don't think that works at all.
I mean, her other deck is rogue, and usually you want to keep the rogue for priest.
No, I think you want to queue Rogue into Drag. Wow.
You want to keep
She
the rogue for
went
priest,
shaman.
right?
Well, you can just... I think my chances are better with Rogue against Dragon Warrior than with Shaman against Dragon Warrior.
Yeah,
Although
but
this is the
your
mid-range
shaman,
Shaman.
yeah, but the shaman against the priest is super bad. So you just go with the shaman first. Maybe you win.
Shaman
May-
against Priest
you
is
just
super bad.
you just like want to make your rogue matchups easier.
Okay, I could see that. That makes sense. Eloise, either way, is going for that game plan. Picks up the pirate package right off the bat. Spirit Claws with Small Time Buccaneer. That'll bring out patches. She's on the play too, so she gets to have the initiative on that. She plays the Jade package as well. A lot of people are not big fans of it in mid-range. How do you guys feel about it?
I lean against the Aya. I think the rest of the Jade package is pretty good. I think I would rather have something like a Doomhammer instead of Aya.
Okay.
That's my instinct.
Wow, that's interesting. A lot of people say it's like the best card in the Jade set to play.
I think it's just a little bit slow for what the deck's trying to do. Like, when you're getting to 6 mana, a lot of times you're thinking about giving up on board presence.
All right.
I like Doomhammer or Leroy more than Aya.
Interesting. That's good to know. Patches off the top there, I think, for Lifecoach. Had to play it from hand.
Wow, she plays Mana Tide. That's interesting.
It's a typical mid-range with Thunderblood Valiant.
Oh, okay.
With Jade sprinkled in. It's not the aggro Shaman list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she probably just like got the Lava Burst for like Mana Tide.
Yeah, sure. That seems like that's what the deck would do.
When you're playing Mana Tide, I like the Aya a little bit more, because it means you're more board-centric and less
Right.
all-in smorky, right?
Right, that's what I was alluding to. You know, some people don't like the Jade package in mid-range. They prefer just going to the old school stuff where it works out just the same. But Jade Lightning is such a cool removal to play up against just about anything.
This is a really interesting hero power on turn 2 from Eloise. The Spirit Claws pushes a bunch of damage, curves into Mana Tide. The hero power potentially rolls a Taunt Totem, protecting your Mana Tide, protecting your Buccaneer for something like a Fiery War Axe. And discounts Thing from Below if that's in the deck. Do you think there's Thing from Below in the deck? I mean, with Mana Tide, it's
Right.
more likely.
It has to
Seems
be.
like it has to be, yeah. That makes sense to me. Plus, there's also the extra roll of Spirit Claws to challenge any 3.
Wow.
Do you go for the Flame Tongue or do you just hero power? Because you definitely play the Spirit.
I'm
Claws
going
with
for the
Code.
Flame Tongue, and my reasoning is there's already stuff out there that's very vulnerable to something like a Fiery War Axe, and we just saw there's no Fiery War Axe or Alex Strauss' champion. It would have come out this turn if it were available, right?
Yeah.
So I like Flame Tongue, Spirit Claws. The Spirit Claws clears the minion, and the Flame Tongue just pushes a lot of damage. Basically, my reasoning for the Flame Tongue is just that I have a read on Lifecoach's hand that there isn't a good answer for it yet. I guess the argument for this is Coin Corcoran is a thing.
Yeah, Coin Corcoran kills a Flame Tongue. There is an
Right.
answer on board, but ultimately you're still losing your minion for very little return. And then you have to trade something else into it or lose 4 health on top.
Yes, smart read from Eloise, right? Even though there wasn't an answer in hand in the previous turn, doesn't mean there won't be one next turn from the Coin Corcoran. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, at the same time, if your opponent coins the Corcoran to only kill your Flame Tongue, you're still in like a super good spot, and then you can just drop the Mana Tide. I still would have liked
You're
the
in a
Flame
good
Tongue a
spot.
bit more than like the hero power, but hero power is not that bad.
Yeah, it's almost never incorrect to hero power Shaman. It's never strictly incorrect almost.
Yeah.
It's just there could be a more aggressive board play, but I think that turned out okay.
It used to be one of the weakest hero powers, but then we got Thing from Below.
And then things changed.
Yeah, that
From below.
Yeah. He didn't go there.
All right, so Alex Strauss' champion into the Wrath of Air Totem seems pretty appealing this turn. Coin Twilight Guardian's a possibility.
Going to like Guardians, very weak to just a Lightning Bolt play or Jade Lightning hero, like with the Jade, the
Yeah,
claws.
I like clearing that spell damage with Alex Strauss' champion. Seems like the thing to do.
Yeah. It works out kind of like
Lifecoach
a
playing
Argent
on
Horse
curve.
Rider. The problem is that you're also giving this this minion something to do.
Now you also have a lot of options. You can like Maelstrom hero power, you can Maelstrom Flame Tongue, you can Jade Lightning. Pick your card.
3/4 is such a it's like a scouting play almost. It's like, what have you got? But like,
Yeah.
does he have cards in hand that react so well that he can afford making these kinds of throwaway plays?
Yeah, so part of the point here is just that Eloise's cards deal 3 damage and that thing has 4 health. So it's just trying to make things awkward while make things awkward for Eloise while simultaneously playing on curve. So Hero Power, Maelstrom Portal, and Face Tank seems to
But
be the
then
play.
it's a small mistake to hero power first because you
Right.
can get like an Inspire guy.
Yeah.
Is there any way that if you Hero Powered and rolled Taunt Totem, the play changed?
And played Flame Tongue instead. I could see that, actually. That makes a lot of sense.
It's a bit expensive, but I can see that too. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably the reasoning, actually, given the fact that she's hesitating right now.
Oh, she still plays Flame Tongue. Okay.
Yeah, she wanted to play Flame Tongue no matter what. And then thought about it. So with Maelstrom Portal, you're targeting in that deck, just like softening the board up with spell damage later on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point Dragon Warrior plays 2 minions. So, 4 mana, coin makes 5, so you could Alex Strauss's champion with Ravaging Ghoul this turn.
Still seems super weak. Lifecoach's hand is not that great. It's like that's the worst part about Dragon Warrior is when you're behind. There's like very few ways to like get back on board.
Right. It doesn't have good catch-up tools. It does have like strong plays like Alex Strauss's champion, Blackwing Corruptor. Ravaging Ghoul is like the only AoE, right? It doesn't have anything like Maelstrom Portal or Lightning Storm like a classic Shaman does to catch up.
And even Ravaging Ghoul is not always played in the deck.
I don't play it in mine.
Yeah, they play Bloodcell Cultist and Ravaging Ghoul. I think JJ and Lifecoach both have the same list or something very similar. I don't know if the card count is exactly the same, but I still think with the double Twilight Guardian, you know, if you get another dragon, you're good to go. If you pick up like a Blackwing Corruptor at any point, there's a lot of outs in the deck that make this board state recoverable after killing the Flame Tongue Totem.
I like this play from Lifecoach.
Yeah.
Aggressively trying to get back on board because it's kind of now or never. If you fall far enough behind, you're just never catching back up. So Maelstrom Portal does a lot of damage that doesn't change things.
No, you just
Anything
trade
from
twice,
away.
right? But with the minion first.
So this turn's Hero Power Mana Tide.
Yeah.
And the minion first, because if you go with the weapon first, then the minion gets debuffed and it doesn't work at all. Very embarrassing.
It happened to Eloise at the last tournament she played.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But she was after like a 10-hour flight, like super tired.
Yeah.
And then she facepalmed and apologized to herself. That's probably what happened.
I mean, we're all human. I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that Core Crown found a one-drop to be played with, for all that's worth.
Yeah.
Eloise still has like a lot of tempo.
And at least the Mana Tide was handled, because if that Mana Tide wasn't handled, then Eloise just ran away with the game right there.
This Maelstrom Portal is pretty gross. As tempting as Io on Curve is.
I mean, you can start generating golems too, right? Like there's Jade Claw's Jade Lightning lets you generate like 2 golems to start up the Aya, and you can play it on curve on turn 7.
But I like the Maelstrom Portal now because there's 2 minions in play. You're never going to get this again. So I would Maelstrom Portal first, then Hero Power to try and get Inspire value from the Maelstrom Portal
Sure.
on Lowly Squire or whatever it is.
And then
you
Jade
play
Claws?
Jade Claw just to put a thing
Yeah.
in play.
Seems
You're
good.
overloaded for 1. Next turn you can play Aya. Perfect.
Can
The
get-
only thing you need to think about is like, do you want to trade first with the minion, with the 1/1? Or do you want to get the 1/1 again?
Oh, you mean the Searing Totem back from the Hero
You
Power?
don't want the 1/1. Healing and Taunt Totem are definitely both better here.
Yeah,
that's
Stone
a
Claw
good
or
point.
Healing.
So then you trade first with the 1/1.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you Maelstrom Portal, trade the 1/1 in,
And
then Hero Power and Jade Claws.
Okay.
Oh, she's going for double Portal. I don't like the second one as much.
She values the 1/1 a lot.
I think she just values board presence.
It's a stronger tempo play, right? It gets her further ahead on board, and which does make sense against a deck that can't recover when behind on board. Now, if Lifecoach picks up a Ravaging Ghoul,
I don't think he plays 2 though in that deck. A 1-of is usually where people draw the line even for that Dragon Warrior build.
I think I saw 2 in some other people's decks.
Wow, that's insane. Well, if he's got a second one, now's the time.
Could have played the Fairy Dragon there, but it would have left the Twilight Guardian in hand without any Dragon Activator.
But this seems like a little too little. He might not have enough to like clear her board.
Not enough stuff.
Yeah. Malkorok, Deathbite. Oh, wait.
So Aya's tempting, but also Jade Lightning is quite tempting.
Yeah, the Jade Lightning
Because if you
is...
play Aya, you're running a lot of stuff into that Twilight Guardian. Yeah, I could definitely see the Jade Lightning here. Hex can be saved for something bigger than a 3/6, right? Out of
Yeah,
Dragon
I think-
Warrior, stuff
yeah,
like
anything-
Draconid Crusher,
Yeah.
Ragnaros, I don't know.
Set up a lethal by going through a taunt that's going to finish the game up for all that's worth. Like, yeah, seems reasonable. I mean, I like also that when you play Aya, it's an even bigger tempo play. The turn you play her because your golem's already a 3/3 into a 4/4 off the death rattle.
Yep.
That's a consideration as well. If there's ever a comeback mechanism in Lifecoach's deck and comes out now,
Nope.
No, we're going in, I guess.
I still don't think it's enough.
It's certainly not.
Keeps the dragon for the activation of Blackwing Corruptor, perhaps.
So yeah, Eloise was able to pull ahead on board against Lifecoach's Dragon Warrior, and Dragon Warrior doesn't really have recovery tools. There's no AoE to punish Eloise for having 7 minions.
Yeah, they don't
I mean,
play
Ravaging
Brawl
Pool, but-
because Brawl is awful since like your deck wants to have the board all the time and
Yeah, you have too many minions, kills too many of your own things.
Yeah.
And there's sort of the same issue with Ravaging Ghoul, but to a lesser extent.
yeah, like if you play this kind of cards, you're also gonna have the board less often because they don't help you in getting the board.
Malkorok with Fool's Bane would have been like a pretty close thing, though. That would have helped a lot, assuming that had rolled.
Ooh.
There isn't too much to do at this point in the deck, so that's probably one of the most remote outs that he had.
Yeah, but it's like very remote. You have to get pretty lucky.
You could get Piranha Launcher and start using those 1/1s to hit the 1/1s.
Get to work,
Talk
boys.
about sick play.
I don't even know how that card looks like. I never saw it being
Fun-
played.
honestly, if you play like a pure token hunter for fun, and I say fun, I emphasize the word fun.
I have fun winning. I don't know about you, Noxious.
No, I don't.
Shots
I don't really
fired.
care.
Like I don't know. Like some people have like different definitions of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, my definition is more on the goofy side.
Yeah. Casual.
So Eloise had to trade some 1/1s in this turn to make forward space for the Azure Drake and the thing from below.
Oh no, not my 1/1s. Oh,
Yeah.
Korkron
It's a
killed
bit of a
some.
tricky turn. In a very favorable position.
Yeah.
Thunderbluff Valiant used to be like one of the best cards, but now the meta slowed so much that it's not that played anymore.
It gets worse in a slower metagame. The metagame got faster, right?
Yeah, it got faster. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah,
not,
it's
the
a
card
slow
is still
card.
good.
If the metagame gets fast enough, it can be too slow.
Yeah.
Is the issue with it, right?
Do you remember, like, even when it came out, the card, Shaman wasn't pushed enough, the card just was good. Even if Totem Golem was around, Tunnel Trog was around, Thunderbluff Valiant was there, and it just didn't do much. Until Thing from Below came in to push the deck into viability.
Right.
It took that a little bit of an extra push to make the deck good. So Eloise will take it 2-1 over Lifecoach. We still have another match for her to win, though. She's going to get to replay the Shaman. Lifecoach is down to his last deck.
Priest.
In last row standing. The Priest against the Shaman, you said was a pretty good matchup for him, for the Priest player.
But then Eloise has the Rogue.
Yeah, which is, a lot of people say it's favored for the Rogue, like, vastly. But I feel like every single time I see the matchup in action,
I don't
For
think
some
it's
reason-
vastly.
Yeah.
right, it's not as big as it used to be with the Control Priest, for instance.
Yeah, I think it's just slightly.
Yeah.
Like the Dragon Priest can just curve out and then Draco need operative and do like just Priest things.
Yeah.
And the Priest things nowadays in Gadgetan are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced Priest is that favored against Shaman. I think last time I cast a tournament, Priest was actually like losing against Shaman. I think it's kind of a balanced, maybe slightly Priest favored matchup. But the thing is, Shaman does have good recovery tools when behind. Priest does not. So if Shaman ever pulls ahead, it could be sort of like last game.
Eloise keeps the Flame Tongue very interesting.
I mean, if you want to deal with a Whelp and you have a 1-drop, that might be a thing.
Yeah, 1-drop into Flame Tongue is just very strong.
Yeah, because it's a
Priest
pirate,
can't
brings
deal
out
with it.
patches.
Into Flame Tongue is very...
Yeah, that's the thing. You get the pirate out, you get patches, they play Whelp, you just trade into it.
If I'm not wrong, Patches always is spawned on the far right side of
Yes.
the board.
Yes.
So if she goes for the Trog and then just plays the Flame Tongue, whenever she plays the Buccaneer, she has to play it on the far left, because otherwise the Patches is gonna like just come on the right side of the Buccaneer and it's gonna be like one
But
damage.
do you lead with the Buccaneer here so that you just don't risk drawing patches naturally?
You could.
I'd be tempted to say yes to that. Yeah, it's kind of scary
Puts
to
2 attack in
draw
play
yourself.
instead of 1, just generally a little bit stronger.
And you can also like attack with one of them.
The issue is you cannot kill a, what's it called, a Wormist Agent as cleanly, I think.
The Tunnel Trog doesn't clear a worm.
Well, it stays
You're gonna
alive,
lightning
right?
bolt.
It stays alive at the end of the day.
Well, you gotta deal 4.
She wants to play everything.
Like, if you play Pirate Coin Flame Tongue, yeah, you can do it.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Positioning wise, I would like to have seen patches in the middle.
Okay.
Right? So you play the Buccaneer first and then Tunnel Trug on the right.
And then it just gets slid over to the Flame Tongue
Yeah,
after.
it's kind of like the Zoo rule that you want to have like the worst minions in the middle so that you can like manipulate the board better.
Yeah.
Because now like if Lifecoach manages to kill the Patches, then Eloise is gonna be left with nothing on the right side of the Flame Tongue totem.
3/5 coming out, Blackwing Technician, a card that's been in and out of decks.
She might have to like trade the Patches away with the Lightning Bolt if she wouldn't draw the Jade Claws, but now you just play the Jade Claws and you're happy.
And you get
Jade
something
Claws,
on the
Lightning
right.
Bolt.
I like keeping the patches alive at this point. Might
Yeah.
as well. You might as well.
So I think Priest is dead here. Because like I was saying, Priest doesn't have great recovery tools.
They have Holy
and
Nova.
Shaman's pretty far ahead. Yeah, but it's... Well, it is actually pretty great against this board, but that's a ways off and not even in hand.
Yeah, she's gonna like
Things are going downhill quick.
And Lifecoach is gonna die within 2 turns probably. That's a way to stall a little bit.
The Twilight.
He probably needs exactly.
It's
Holy
trading
Nova.
with 2 1/1s.
Yeah, he needs
Because of the power of
exactly
Flame Tongue.
the Holy Nova next turn.
Yeah, Eloise is just gonna trade the 2/1/1s.
Healing
Then-
Totem's really good here to get the Tunnel Trug out of range of Holy Nova.
Yeah.
A loss. It was not meant to be. Still pushing a very reasonable amount of damage, and with Lightning, Jade Lightning in hand, I mean, that's pretty much lethal across the board. And that looks to
game.
be game.
Yeah.
Wow, complete stomp.
Aggro Shaman.
The patch is opener with Flame Tongue, no 1-drops, no 2-drops on Lifecoach's side. Everything started with the Blackwing Technician, and that was it.
It wasn't really even aggro shaman, I would say.
No, it was mid-range.
Yeah, it was more mid-range than aggro.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
It just curves the way it has to. I mean, it has the Pirates to curve, it has the Tunnel Trog, Totem Golem package to curve. It always finds something to do in the early game.
It's definitely a mid-range Shaman. It just had, you know, an aggressive curve that game.
When does it not have an aggressive curve, right?
When it's hero power passing.
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes, like the first game. So Eloise will take you 3-1 over Lifecoach. We'll be relegated to the losers match a bit later. So we'll have the second match of the group. Stan Sivka, I believe, will be playing up against
Dog.
Doug, and then we'll have the winners match into losers match into deciders match. Eloise, congratulations. Come sit next to lovely Zalay.
Oh.
Or not. Never mind. All right. Nice coat. I like
Thank
your coat.
you.
Is it Frodan's coat from BlizzCon?
How do you know?
So congratulations on winning against Lifecoach. So going into the series, what was going through your head? Did you know the lineup the Lifecoach brought, and did you feel like you were favored at all in it?
I think I'm not favored at all because how to say it? Like I was too concentrated when I play because I'm very tired actually. I practice so much. I sleep only a little bit. I practice so much. So I'm actually very tired right now. But I think his lineup is pretty favored against me. I have at least 2 weak class. I already forgot which are they already. But yeah. It's not very easy to win, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, the Priest game was. Yeah, he didn't find anything early game, so it was a lot easier for you to win that matchup. Otherwise, like we were discussing this, but do you think Priest is favored against Shaman, the
Of
Dragon
course.
Priest? By how
Of
much?
course.
Like how much is it of a
How
difference?
much?
Yeah.
Haha.
All right, I'll let you go rest before your next series, no problem. All right, well, thanks. Congratulations again on your win.
Congrats.
Guys, we'll be taking a short break. We'll be back with some more SeatStory 6 action. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.